Welcome back to the Hunt Overview. We've had an exciting week. We've had several tournaments, including the Chappie Challenge that Team Vex took first place in. We have several coming up too as well, such as the ESL's League with cash prizes, the DGL Tournament, the Evolve Hype League, and the ESL PAX East Pro-Am. We've also been given a taste of what balance changes are being tested at TRS. Expect Wraith Hunts to be a lot more fun than they have been in the past. We'll start this overview off with a couple strategies and then jump into the balance changes. The Lonely Monster Dome. We recently saw at the Chappie Challenge tournament the unveiling of the Trapper's ability to dome a monster without being inside the dome themselves. There are a few uses for this, such as the Trapper needs to buy time for the dropship to come in. There's only a minute or two left on the clock and they want to burn the monster's time. Or maybe the hunters would like to accomplish a task without interruption, such as on Nest or Rescue mode. It's done by throwing the dome and boosting backwards with a full jetpack from an elevated location. The dome walls will fall right in front of you as you land on the ground outside of the arena. Now there's no guarantee this trick will be allowed to stay in the game. Not only does it have some serious griefing potential, but it can create an anticlimactic ending to a game, which may leave players rather salty as there was no counter they really could have done. As a monster player, remember a Trapper can pull this out of their sleeve. Misleading the hunters. We all know as a monster, we leave tracks where we walk. So to quickly recap how tracks can mislead hunters: leave a false trail at the starting point, leave a false trail at forks, walk backwards at forks, and leave a mess of tracks in a feeding ground before sneaking off. Now onto the more subtle ways that monsters have to mislead the hunters. The Kraken's Lightning Strike has a very long range. Using it in the distance in an opposite direction you are going will cause the hunters to think you are nearby that strike, and therefore not go towards you. The Wraith can use a long range abduction to scare birds. It has a 104 meter range at 3 points, giving the Wraith a good option of deception. Be careful not to use this in line of sight of the hunters, as they will see where you came from and go there instead. Goliath can throw a rock in the opposite direction. The rock does travel slow and does have a sound at the origin when Goliath picks up, so be careful that the hunters aren't too close to you, and in their line of sight they will see the rock's trajectory. And finally, the balance changes. There's quite a few balance changes currently being proposed by TRS. We'll go over the major changes. First up, Wraith is getting quite a few tweaks that most players will view as a huge nerf. Her mobility has been significantly reduced. Warp Traversal and Blast now travel slower, and Warp Blast's range has been normalized to 30 meters. Decoy takes another hit with an additional 2 seconds on cooldown, and when the Wraith is shot while cloaked, she will appear for half a second, the same as cloaked hunters. She's gained more hit and run strength though, in the form of more damage from Warp Blast, which now has an increased radius as well, and her Supernova's duration is now 50% what it used to be, causing the cooldown to happen faster and allowing the damage bubble to be more mobile. Hyde has received some needed love. His damage was too easy to kite, and his utility was nearly pointless. The Toxic Neg now has 50% more damage and explodes when in proximity of a monster, can be thrown faster, and the lifetime has been reduced, which is a DPS increase. The Minigun now has a tighter spread with a solid 20% increased damage buff. I expect to see him be a lot more viable in the high-end teams. The last major character change is Val. Currently, she's having a lot of trouble keeping up with the monster's damage and is too easily focused. Her changes include a buff to the med gun's healing output up to 6% a second, although recharge has been halved and ammo is consumed much faster. The Trent gun now affects a monster for 10 seconds, allowing a more fluid use of her kit and perhaps some more defensive options for this highly offensive medic. With these changes, I expect her to work out well for high pressure teams. A few major changes that will bring some combos back into line. Stealth Pounce is no longer spammable. There is a 2-second cooldown between attempts. Kraken's flight has been tweaked to be more smooth, and the slow effects only pull the Kraken down from the sky. no longer affecting his move speed while in the air. Although on the ground, they will still slow his move speed down. The mobile arena no longer makes noise for the monster, and same with the trapper's voiceover while throwing a dome. Markov's arc mines have been nerfed by 20% less damage with much less health and increased arm time. Griffin's sound spikes now have a 15-meter radius that detects a sneaking monster. These will be great for choke points and enables him to have a counter of some kind to stealth. Cabot received a very large nerf to his rail cannon's damage, down by 30% damage and increasing the reload speed up to 1.25 seconds, effectively taking almost 50% of his damage from rail cannon away. I don't suspect this will make him useless though, as his kit is still very useful. I have a link to the balance changes in the description below, and these are still subject to change as they are only being tested in-house currently. That's it for this week. Enjoy the upcoming tournaments and let me know what you think of the balance changes in the comments below. Do they go too far? Not far enough? If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, happy hunting.